Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Banner Press's Coaches Show. My name is Joe Alberico, the sports editor for the Banner Press, and of course I am joined once again by Brenham High School football coach Eliot Allen. Coach, how was your holiday?
It was good. We had a good time. Family came in and we won a football game, and so couldn't ask for much more, I guess.
Yeah, the football game. I don't really know where we even begin with that one. I mean, I feel like we could spend the entire afternoon talking about it. Obviously, it was a huge double overtime victory, 42-35 win over Sharyland High. I'm going to save everybody some time and let you break that one down. What did you see on the film? It was a crazy one.
Well, it was obviously a back and forth type of affair. I mean, we didn't start the game, I think, as quickly as we would like to have, and whether it was a sluggish week of practice, whether it was a long bus ride, whether it was us just not being focused, and I know a lot of it was that Sharyland is a good football team. I mean, they have the ability to big play you, but it just seemed to take us a while to get going, and then once we sort of got in the groove, and much like we've done a lot of this year, we sort of gained some steam, and we were able to string some drives together offensively and get a few stops defensively and put ourselves back in a position to win, and we were able to win it late.
You know, it's a cliche that gets thrown around a lot, but it certainly does seem like your Cubs are a second half team, and it's been that way pretty much all season long, and was again the case last week. Are you starting to feel like this just may be the type of team you have this year, where you guys kind of figure out a way to make those adjustments at the half, or you feel like maybe you're still kind of agonizing over a way to get it all together for 48 minutes?
No, we're always agonizing on how to improve, and not just that, but everything that we do. We certainly don't, I don't know that an identity can be established yet, but certainly that's sort of been what this team has done. We don't by any stretch want to start slowly. We don't want to get behind, but I am proud of the fact that our kids kind of, they don't really panic. They sort of stick to the process, and in the big situations, they've proven to just execute what is called, and I think it could be. It's a lot of maturity on their part, but that's something that we're proud of.
I know I've picked your brain on this before. Do you think maybe a possible fix is getting the offense, on the field quicker? And you've won a lot of tosses this year, and I know you like to defer to the second half and play defense first. But is there any chance you're going to change that this week if you're fortunate enough to win the toss?
It could potentially. I think a lot of it depends on wind. Sometimes, I like to kick off with that wind, and start the game off that way if we can, but. I've done it both ways, and we'll just kind of see what happens on Friday night.
It feels, more and more each game that you guys are doing a really good job of, spreading the offense and kind of sharing the wealth a little bit. And, like I said, before we turned on the camera, even the freshman Javon Dixon had a big run for a first down against Sharyland last week. How much are you and offensive coordinator Danny Ramsey kind of emphasizing getting everyone involved? Because there are so many names being called on game nights.
I think. The focus is to execute the offense, and sometimes it's whoever is the hot hand at the time, but I think we have a lot of guys that are contributing, and when that's the case, the ball gets spread around, and certainly we'd like to give everybody the ball a bunch more than we do. We only have one football, but I think when we're executing and when guys are making plays, they're going to get the opportunity to touch football.
Defensively last week it was kind of a tale of two halves, kind of a rough start, but you guys outscored Sharyland 35-14 in the second half, and I think people are going to look at the final score and think, man, there was no defense there, but your kids produced a couple turnovers in the second half and came up big. Lontarius McClain, we said his name a lot. He had a huge game-saving interception that forced overtime near the end of regulation. Your thoughts overall on that unit?
I'm proud of them. If you look, we gave up some big pass plays there in the first half. The first two drives, they were able to run it with some consistency. And really after the first two drives, I thought we settled in and at least kind of slowed the run game down from there on out. It was more of a, they were throwing the football and getting some big chunk plays there. And I'm just proud of the fact that that we didn't change a whole lot. We mixed in a little zone and with our base coverage, but it's just a matter of them making adjustments throughout the course of the game and catching up to what the opponent's doing. All
right, Coach, so Sharyland's in the rearview mirror, and now you've got a Region 4 semifinal game against Calallen, 7:30 p.m. Friday at Calallen Stadium all the way down in San Antonio. They run the heck out of the football. That's the big thing that I think stands out. They've got 3 runners that have rushed for over 1,000 yards. 2 of them have 12 touchdowns. I think one's over 20. Their quarterback obviously is a run-first guy. What have you seen on film? They look like a tough opponent.
Well, anybody from the state of Texas would tell you that Calallen is. I mean, traditionally they're an outstanding football program. Who Coach Danaher has been there for a long time, won 300 plus games. I'm pretty sure. I don't know the exact number, but I know he's been down there and winning for a long time. And they've been in that same offense and pretty much the same defense for decades and decades. And so, generations of kids grow up running the same scheme, and they take a lot of pride in playing good defense and then running the football at you. And so it's going to be a challenge for us. It doesn't matter who they've played against. They run the football on them, and they do that in a variety of different ways out of their WingT set, but they're tough to stop.
Yeah, what do they run defensively? And then, without giving me too much details of your game plan, what's kind of the plan of attack with your offense this week?
But defensively, they're kind of a mix between the 3-4 to 4-3. They're kind of what we would call a weak eagle look, kind of mix between that and the 4-2-5. But it's they're a very consistent defense. They blitz about 25% of the time, but they're going to sit there and play technique, which is what a lot of your good football programs do. And we're going to. I don't know that we can just sit there and rely on one or the other this week and just say we feel like we're going to go in and throw the football or we're going to go in and run the football. I just think we have to execute, and certainly I think that's going to involve throwing the ball a little bit. I think we'll have a difficult time just consistently running out of it without any passing game. So I think balance is maybe what we'll strive for.
Coach, if you look at the way the season started in the first few weeks and all the way till now, your Cubs have grown up, substantially, and you're on the verge of possibly a berth into the final 8. Advancing would be a big deal this week. What's the message for your Cubs?
Well, we feel like every week is a gift. We feel like this week is a gift, and it's an opportunity not only to get better as football players, but to get better as teammates and appreciate the time that we have together on the practice field, in the locker room, riding the games, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's a bunch of guys that spend a lot of time together, and so every week that we get to do this, it's a gift, and certainly we're going to approach it as we're going to try to get better this week, and we want to have the opportunity to do this again next week.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, good luck down there in San Antonio. We will be joining you, folks. Thank you for joining us for one more week, and we hope to see you again next week.